Dave Ramsey, the Money Guys, Joshua Mayo, they all promise mountains of wealth if you follow their methods, principles, and their side hustles. But after doing so, you're probably still finding that you're still poor. So what is it, my friends, that you're missing? Why does it all seem so right, but when you follow their advice, it doesn't seem to mount up for you and give you the results that you're looking for?
Yes!
What are they not telling you? Pay attention, because in this video, I'm going to unravel the secret behind this question, and in the end, give you some direction to actually get your feet on the right path.
Wow, this is my lucky day.
To really dig into the depth of this question and to put you on the path that you want to be on, we have to dig deeper than just the words that these people are saying. We have to dig down into what they're actually doing.
You think I'm stupid?
Yes.
So let's dive into the lives of each one of these individuals for as much time as we possibly have, and let's see what they're actually doing versus what they're saying. And by the end of this video, I'll show you the common denominator among all of these gurus, and that they're practically walking the same path. Though it's not quite the same path that they're putting you on.
You guys are being selfish.
So let's get into this. First, we're going to focus on David Ramsey. So I'm going to pull up his website. We're going to look at his 7 baby steps. Step 1 is save $1,000 for your starter emergency fund. Step 2, pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball, which when he says that, he's talking about getting rid of the smaller debts first and then snowballing it into the larger debts. Step 3, save 3 to 6 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. So similar to step 1, except it's kind of like a step 1 on steroids. You're saving 3 to 6 months, which generally is like $20,000 to $40,000. Step 4, invest 15% of your household income in retirement. And this is if you want to retire really well. Step 5, save for your children's college fund. Another thing that makes sense, right? Step 6, pay off your home early. So the earlier you pay off your home, the faster that you'll have that security. And then step 7, build wealth and give. So these steps are pretty logical if you're trying to protect yourself financially. But Dave, I think he did a little bit more than that. So let's dive into his life. So Dave Ramsey, when he first took off in 1986, he amassed a portfolio of over $4 million. But then whenever the banks came and called his $1.2 million in loans and credit, he had to file for bankruptcy in 1988. So Dave Ramsey went bankrupt in the year I was born. So in his financial recovery, what did he do to recover? He began to offer financial advice to couples at his local church. 1988, the same year that he filed for bankruptcy, he opened up a financial counseling service. Okay. In 92, he wrote and self-published a book, Financial Peace. So 4 years later, he published a book on financial peace. So, when you lose, when in doubt, tell everybody how not to lose, and then make a book on it, and then you'll get your money back. Okay. After he was a host of The Money Game in 92, he opened up his own show, which is a 3-hour call-in financial advice talk show. And he continued with his business until he became the Dave Ramsey we know of today. Okay. So interesting. So I don't see the 7 steps interwoven in his life. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. So where do the 7 steps come from? Okay, Ramsey Solutions, the National Study of Millionaires. Study summary. Ramsey Solutions conducted the largest survey of millionaires ever with 10,000 participants. 8 out of 10 millionaires invested in their company's 401k. You can only withdraw your money from your 401k when you reach 59 and a half. These guys are making their wealth from their 401ks, and they are making it after they retire. 79% of millionaires do not receive any inheritance from their parents or other family members. Well, yeah, they put it in their 401k and they're retired with it. If you want to be a retired millionaire, and you have patience enough to wait for that, then Dave Ramsey's plan is your plan. Pretty straightforward plan. I think that he's got great principles, but he didn't follow that plan. Dave Ramsey did not make his millions from his 401k. That's not how he became a millionaire. He started his businesses and his shows. That's how he became a millionaire. He's not showing you the path that he took. He's showing you the path that most people take that are millionaires. And most people that are millionaires are retired. So yes, this is a plan not to become like Dave Ramsey. This is a plan for you become wealthy when you have maybe 10 or 15 years left of your life. Maybe 15 or 20 if you're lucky. So Dave Ramsey became rich by telling you how to get rich. But if you want to become a millionaire before you retire, then you might want to follow what Dave Ramsey did instead of doing just his 7 principles. All right, let's dive into the money, guys. So Brian Preston, as the founder, with Bo Anson being his partner, you can see he's got a CPA, CFP, and a PFS in front of his name. So what do those mean? Well, let's look it up. CPA is a certified public accountant. A CFP is a financial expert who's met the rigorous education, experience, and ethics standards set by the CFP board. So he's a certified financial planner. And then the PFS is a personal financial services. So he is a financial advisor. In other words, they're just financial gurus in investing. And they're going to likewise make money telling you how to make money. That's actually their job. Okay, so we didn't have to dive very deep to understand that. These guys make money telling you how to make money. Perfect. Let's change this up. Let's jump into Joshua Mayo. Okay, Joshua Mayo. Here you go. Let's go into his videos. Now, you look at his oldest first. It looks like he's doing the same thing that the rest of these guys are doing. He does dive into investing, but then what I like is that he flips into how he actually got wealthy, and does that by talking about his YouTube channel. This is what I like, is when people tell you what they're doing instead of telling you what you should do. This is the kind of video right here, making $614,000 in his first year of YouTube. You can see where he's getting his wealth. His wealth is not coming from all these side hustles that he's telling you to do. No, he's posting videos of how to tell you how to get rich. And he actually goes into that in this video.
Last year was my first full year on YouTube. And in that 1 year, I made $613,960.75. But it wasn't always like that. You see, when I posted my first video on YouTube on February 17th, 2021, I didn't know how long it would take me to start making money with YouTube. I mean, at the very beginning, I was only averaging between 5 and 10 views per video. If a video got over like 20 views, that was considered really good for me. And because of this, I was obviously making $0 from YouTube for kind of a long time. In fact, if I go into the back end of my channel, I've got it filtered to 2021 to show you.
So this guy goes into what he did for the first year of his YouTube, and as you can see, it's pretty flatlined across the board until about September of 2021. He started in February, so that's 9 months roughly that it took him to go from 0 to a lot of views.
Would have given up at this point, right? I mean, we're talking about 9 months of consistently posting videos, making no money, making no progress, seeing no results. And then in mid-October, everything changed when this video here randomly decided to go viral. The views and subscribers on my channel began exponentially increasing, and as a result, my income also began exponentially increasing. You can see here from the top of 2021, when I first started this channel, all the way until about mid-September 2021, I was making $0 on YouTube. Right? And then on September 10th, 2021, I made my first $1.16 on YouTube. And I was making a couple of dollars per day from mid-September until late October when that video began going viral. And then from that point, my YouTube income began increasing. You can see here, it peaks at $167 on November 2nd, 2021. And then it kind of fluctuates between $60 and $100 per day through the end of the year, and jumps one last time at the end of the year with a $206 day on December 29th, 2021. And So in 2021, my total income from YouTube was $7,748.31.
That's not bad, just for a couple months.
But then if I go up here and filter it from 2021 to the year 2022, you can see a very different story unfolds. And it's from this point that we'll begin breaking down exactly how I made over $613,000 last year on YouTube, what income sources I had, and what my goals are for this year, 2023.
Look at that, $362,000 just from the revenue of AdSense on YouTube alone. I like this video because it's one of the few videos that he has where he dives into the wealth that he generated himself. You see his RPM, that's how much money he's making on average from each one of his videos. So he gets $21.20 per 1,000 views of his videos. That's actually very high RPM for a video on YouTube because he's teaching finances, which goes back to my point. You want to make a lot of money, you just tell other people how they should make a lot of money. Now, the rest of the revenue sources is in conjunction with his YouTube channel. He starts doing affiliate marketing and he goes into sponsorships. That's where he made the additional $300 and whatever thousand it was. So let's go back to his channel here. You can see what he now talks about. He's now generating a lot of videos about making money online. He's talking about all these different random side hustles, but I doubt he's doing all of these side hustles that he's talking about. I go back to these comments here. It says, this dude is the clickbait king. I used to think he was the real deal. Stop telling people that they can easily become rich just by following your advice. In this rotten economy, nobody's buying anything they don't need, and nobody's buying customized candles, or for that matter, especially when food is outrageously high, car insurance, mortgages are up, people are living paycheck to paycheck. No one's buying expensive candles. You can see that there's a lot of negative comments in his videos, especially his latest videos. But even though he's getting so many negative comments, you can see he's still doubling down on how to make money online. Why is Joshua Mayo doing it? Why is he not listening to his fan base? Well, let's go into the reason why. Okay, so I'm actually signed up with something they call vidIQ, which is actually a helper with YouTube. And I'm going to type in my keyword here, make money online. Make money online. Do you see this overall score of 89? I'm going to break this down what this means. The competition for this is 12.7, meaning very low, okay? Whereas there's over 1 million searches per month of this exact topic. In fact, if I go down here, you can see how to make money online. 1.1 something million people are searching this, how to make money online, right here. Now, to give you guys an idea of how good of a score this is for such a key word and why you would be making videos on this, let me type in something else like investing, which is what he used to teach on. Okay, so you can see the competition's quite a bit higher, and people aren't really searching how to invest as they are how to make money online. So you can see why he dropped what he used to speak on, and he's doubling down on how to make money online, because that is how he's making his money, even though his fan base is telling him not to. So I guess what I'm saying, guys, is if you want to get wealthy, just do what these other guys have done. So I'll just continue doing what I'm doing, which is telling you guys how to get rich. Wait.
I'm done. Cut the show.
With that, guys, I guess I'll see you guys next time.